Hola, pendejo. I need total silence while I'm filming. What's up guys, Austin Robinson here. I just finished up a huge order with a bunch of pin back buttons. So in today's video, I figure I'm going to show you how to make your own pin back button. I've been offering custom pin services for about 2 months now. So I figured I'd show you how I get them done and try to help out anybody who's trying to make their own pins but maybe struggling. Oh no, don't fall out. Zip, zip, zip. So before we even jump into pin making, for this specific tutorial there are certain materials you're going to need. Number one, you need some sort of computer or laptop, and you have to have access to Photoshop or some sort of photo editing software in there. Number two, you're going to need access to a printer, whether you have your own or you can go to a school library or a public library. Staples, you need access to a printer. 3, pair of scissors. 4, you're going to need a pin press. I'll put a link to the pin press that I use in the description down below. You can get it right off Amazon. It's about $150, but that includes your pin press and materials to make over 500 pins. Today's pins in specific, they're going to be 2 1/4 inch. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So for starters, we are going to need a pin guideline. That way we can adjust our images to the shape we might need. I will put a downloadable Google Drive link in the description. That way you can just take 2 1/4 PSD size that I'm using and work right from there. Once we have our pin size open, I'm going to show you around. This red diameter is where you're going to have your image, and this outside black diameter is your cutting side. So if you want your entire image to show up in your pin, you want to keep it in this red space. And then out here, you just kind of have open color, open space. There's chance for clipping here if you don't stay within the lines. So we are going to be making pins out of a design that I've been working on lately. We're doing a Jake the Dog and Finn the Human pin. So we're going to take this Jake design that I have, and it's already in a circle. You want to be working with a circular image. So we zoom in, we make sure that we adjust it to fit within that diameter. Good. So we have our first pin set right there in that circle. With this template that I'm using, they allow for 6 pins on a page. We're not trying to waste paper here. You want to get as many pins out of one piece of paper as you can. So what I do is come over to the side, duplicate your layer, and just move them right on over. We already know that our images are the size they need to be for the pins, so moving over is no issue. We'll make one more copy, so we will move him over, and just like that, we have our first row of pins. So with this, I'm making a pin pack. So it's going to have a Jake pin and a Finn pin. Finn pin, Finn pin, say it 5 times fast. Finn pin, Finn pin, Finn pin, Finn pin, Finn pin. So fun. Oh man, Captain ADHD at your service. Hello. So because we are doing 2 different images on this one, typically I would just take these, combine them all into one layer, and then just make 2 more copies. And you can fit about 9 pins on an average computer-sized piece of paper. But because we're doing different ones, we aren't even going to merge those layers. We are going to have them all separate. So next we will bring in our Finn pin, Finn pin, Finn pin, Finn pin, Finn pin. It's the same thing. We are going to take the Finn pin, drop it down, and fit it within our circle. And again, when you're designing this image, you want to make sure that your main design is going to fit within that red cutting area. So now that we have the Finn pin done, we're going to do the exact same thing. Duplicate the layer, move them on over. You can move these up, that way you don't have to risk any clipping happening when you're printing. Duplicate this one again. Okay. Alrighty, so we have our Finn and Jakes, and because they are going to be a combo pack, we want to fit 1 more in there of each. That way we're not working with an odd number of pins. So here we are. We have all of our images all sized up, ready for printing. But before we print, we want to go back in to this template, go down to the outside cutting diameter, hide it. The actual design area guide, hide it. And then your blank layer, hide it. You don't need any of that. You want to just have your images and a transparent background on that sheet. That's it. So from here, we will print out our picture, and then we will come back and start cutting out our image and get our pins pressed. We got our image printed out. we have the size we need for the 2 1/4 inch buttons. So what you're going to do from here is get your handy dandy scissors. And I find it easiest to just cut them into strips and do each image one at a time instead of trying to go through and cut out each circle straight from this main sheet of paper. We have our images cut into small squares. Next, we are going to go along and strictly cut out that circular diameter. We don't want a bunch of extra paper because then it'll be too big for the pin press, and we don't want to cut too much of this because then it won't be big enough to press into the materials. We're just going to go along and cut right along the outside diameter. And just like that, we have all of our little circular images cut and ready to be pressed into pins. Now we have the exciting part. Oh, they fell on the floor. This is our pin press, and this is what's going to allow us to make our pin back buttons. So, like I said, I will put a link to this specific pin press in the description down below. What you're going to get in this package is the pin maker, these little plastic pin backs, they send you these little metal plates, and this plastic protective cover for your image. Without wasting any more time, we're going to get into making our pins. So, first step, you take the metal that they gave you, place it into the left side of the pin maker, take one of your images. In this case, we're going to be using the little thin shroom. Take a little plastic cover, and you want to line it up so that there's an equal amount of free space along the entire thing. Then, we just press our pin down into there, slide it down into the press, and push down. After that, we take one of our little plastic pin pieces, put it over on the right side, slide it over, push down. You're going to feel a little extra shove down on the second press. That's good. That means it just pressed all the metal into the plastic. Release, take it out, and just like that, we have our first little thin pin. So now we will do a Jake. So same exact thing. Take your metal piece, put it there, get your plastic casing. You want even amounts on all sides. Then take it, put it in the pin press, slide her down. That initial press puts the plastic into the metal. Then put our plastic pin backing in there, slide it over. That extra little give, release, and there we go. We have matching best friend Jake and Finn pins. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you press a pin. It's a very simple process. Pins are great for just showing off your art. They're great for promotional materials. I personally offer my services for other people, and I've done a bunch of pins for different artists. Shout out to Space Cheese. I've done a few for her. I just did 50 today for Pump Your Own Productions. We've done different ones for bands such as Trash Days. I've done pins for Alpaca Beats. I have my own custom alien pins. And once this video is live, my new little best friend pin packs will be available. So they'll only be $2. You get to keep one and give one to your best friend. Or if you want to be selfish and just have them both for yourself, hey, I'm not going to say anything. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you make a pin back button using a pin press. I know that, some people may not be able to afford a pin press. You may not have that extra money laying around. So in the future, I will be showing you how to do a cheaper alternative using safety pins and bottle caps. So if you're an artist or any sort of creator, think about making some pins. Think about investing into a pin maker, or if you don't feel like making your own, come at your boy. I offer custom pin services on Etsy, and like I said, while you're on Etsy, get yourself a Finn pin, get yourself a Jake pin. Get them for you, get them for your friends. That's the end of the video, guys. Just a quick pin press tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, feel free to share it with your friends. If you know anybody that's looking for pins, send them my way. Social media links are in the description down below. I appreciate everybody that took the time to watch, and I'll see you on the next video. Hey dude, I just told all my viewers that they should buy these pins and give them to their best friend, and well, you're my best friend, so I thought I'd give you a pin. Hey. Austin the dog and Haley the human, couple that will never end. It's Haley time.